Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Ben. Welcome back to Daily Sadhana. Today's a special day, and over the next month is a special time because we're bringing on new instructors so that y'all have a more diverse range of classes to take and teachers to take classes from. All of the teachers that we're bringing on are close friends of mine, people that I've personally done a lot of yoga with, people that I trust more than I trust myself. And I say that to say that you're in good hands. So today we have Caiti, and Caiti is teaching her first class here with Daily Sadhana. I just wanted to come on and introduce her to all of you. And Caiti will be teaching a class, somewhere around like once a week will be released here on the channel. So I hope y'all enjoy. Give Caiti a warm welcome in the comment section. It's really truly a blessing and an honor to have Caiti here as such an amazing and skilled instructor, and just a close friend of mine who I'm in community with here in North Carolina. So with that said, I'm going to give the mic back to Caiti, and she's going to get it plugged into her shirt, and I'm going to leave. I'm going to let her teach the class. So enjoy the class.
Thank you so much, Ben. Honestly, it's such an honor. So I'll get to it. All right, team. I'll go ahead and fix the mic really quick. But just another quick thank you to Ben for bringing myself and a few other friends of mine and his that you'll meet over the course of the next month. Yeah, okay, we're back in action. It truly is such an honor to be a part of this. And I'm very excited to lead y'all through a practice today. The idea of the practice itself from a physical standpoint is going to be revolved around making our way towards a headstand. So hopefully if you're at home, you can kind of be near a wall, give yourself a little bit of something, some leverage to lean up against as we start to practice and break that down about 3/4 of the way through our practice today. Energetically, I just want you to move without expectation. So I think coming into September, the month that we're in now, there is this idea that we get to kind of reset and redefine. We've had an entire summer of doing possibly, hopefully, nothing, or honestly, for some of us, a lot of things, a lot of travel, a lot of trips, a lot of time with other people. So as you get to this point in your year and start to look forward to something that might be coming next, I want you to release the expectation of what that looks like and really just start to pay more attention to what things feel like. And so same thing that we're doing with this headstand experience is we're gonna make our way there, and we're gonna do a lot of postures to get there. And so giving yourself credit for every single posture along the way and release the expectation of that one particular thing that we might have our eyes set on can kind of bring us back to the wealth and the experience that is the journey. So give yourself a little bit of time during this practice to enjoy the moments that you're in along the way. Once we get to that breakdown situation, for the headstand, we release expectation and we just give things a try, okay? With that being said, we'll go ahead and start lying down on our mats in Makrasana or a crocodile pose. So make your way down onto your bellies. Send your legs out long behind you, and then you can stack one forearm on top of the other, and then rest your forehead on top of your top arm. And allow yourself to just settle into this first posture. Now, as we work towards a headstand, we're going to want our hamstrings a little open. We're going to want our shoulders nice and strong, and our side bodies a little bit more lengthened, and our backs really strengthened. It is a tiny touch of a back bend. And so very similarly here in your crocodile pose, there's a very soft, subtle back bend that's happening in the low back. An openness that's happening through the abdominals and through the heart space. And extending and lengthening through the legs, the back of your legs, your hip flexors. Feel everything just starting to settle into the mat. In the first moments of practice, it is the most important to release expectation and commit to being present along the way. And so honor each and every posture as we arrive in it without expecting or anticipating where we could go from here. Take a strong breath in through the nose. And a big open mouth exhale. We'll do that one more time just to release. Take a breath in. And then a breath out. Begin to incorporate your Ujjayi breath, the breath in and out of your nose. And allow the breath out, even though through the nose, still to make some sound. As you breathe out, you'll kind of tighten up the muscles in the back of your throat so that it makes a whispering noise as you breathe out, almost like you're fogging up a mirror on the back of your teeth. This is the breath of presence, in my opinion. It's audible, it's here. You can hear every single posture because you can hear every single breath as you arrive. If you need a moment where things are starting to wander, minds are starting to trickle elsewhere, breathe louder. Fill yourself, fill your space with the sound of where you are right now. Steady breath in. And a steady Ujjayi breath out. On your next inhale, please press up to a tabletop position, hands under your shoulders. Push yourself away from the ground and pull your knees underneath your hips. Your next inhale is cow pose. Soften your belly towards the floor. Pull your collarbones up, tailbone up. Exhale for cat pose. Round and curl. Really dome through your spine. Tuck your chin to your chest. 2 more. Cow pose. Soften through the belly muscles. Arch through the spine. Exhale, cat pose. Dome the space between your shoulders. Gaze at your knees. Let's do 1 more. Breathe in. Pull the collarbones forward and up. And exhale, focus on your tailbone as it tucks down towards the ground, pointing towards your heels. A neutral tabletop is your inhale. Tuck your toes, and then downward facing dog is your exhale. Lift your hips all the way up and back. As you make your way to your first downward facing dog, keep moving around, please. So pedal your knees and your heels and sway your hips. Bend your knees so that your chest pushes back closer to your thighs, and start to grip the ground with your fingertips and put more weight into the space between your first finger and your thumb. We come back to down dog fairly often, so ensure that it's a space where you feel strong and you feel stable. At any point at which that changes, tabletop is a beautiful variation. When you're ready, take a look forward, please, and then take very tiny steps towards ragdoll at the top of your space. Separate your feet the width of your mat. Bend your knees as much as you can and soften the crown of your head towards the ground. As if there was a strong, steady magnet at the crown of your head and in the middle center of the earth. Let those two be pulled together as you soften and make space in your spine. A bind in your arms is optional, never necessary. And move around, sway around. You're never stuck. No posture is rigid. Everything has fluidity to it, and everything has a choice. Breathe in. And as you exhale, release your palms down towards the ground, and then very slowly step your feet together. If you want them to touch, they can. Slowly, steadily roll yourself all the way up to stand for Tadasana. Relax your arms by your sides. Let them face forward. And close your eyes and extend the crown of your head a little bit taller towards the ceiling. And then root and grip down into the 3 core parts of your feet, underneath your big toe, your pinky toe, and into your heel. Steady breath in. And a very committed breath out. We'll move on to our Surya Namaskar A, or Sun Salutation A. Reach your fingertips all the way up towards the sky. Urdhva Hastasana, hands reach up, shoulders plug down. As you exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, reach the hands back up tall. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Hinge at your hips, keep water and a bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Push your hands to your shins or to your thighs. Crown of your head reaches forward, and your hips start to trickle over top of your heels, placing more weight in your toes. Strength on the breath in, and a fold on the breath out. 2 more like that, please. Inhale, rise up, reach up, hands high. Exhale, Anjali Mudra, hands at your heart center. Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. Then Uttanasana, fold down. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, we'll fold. Last time like this, please. Inhale, reach up, rise up, lift up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Hands reach up, Urdhva. And we fold down, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, ears open for change. Exhale, palm your mat, step back for a high plank position. When you reach your high plank, acknowledge strength first before anything else happens. Push the ground away. Make space between your shoulders, just like you did in your cat pose. Firm up through your thighs to soften and engage every single muscle from crown to heel, and softening the amount of effort you have to put in one particular part of your body. Engage on the breath in. Drop your knees down, drop your chest and your chin down on the exhale. We'll set up for 3 rounds of a rolling cobra and just start to stretch out through the shoulders. For a rolling cobra, I want you to tent your fingertips outside the edges of your mat, like you have little cupcakes underneath them, and your elbows stack on top of your wrists like we're in an upside down goalpost. Keep the tops of your feet down onto the ground, and on your inhale, push yourself up. Press into your finger pads, roll your chest forward and up. And like a wave, as you exhale, lower down. 2 more. Roll up, ripple up, and rise up. Crown of the head reaches up last. And exhale, lower all the way down. 1 more. Roll up, rise up, press up. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Hands into the shoulders, tuck your toes. Tabletop or high plank, it's always up to you. And then downward facing dog is where we'll meet. We'll move through our traditional Surya Namaskar A's, including our first variations of Chaturanga Danasana, so please know you can take any variation. Down dog is the destination. How you get there is just up to you. Take a look forward, please. And as you exhale, travel to the top of your mat, forward fold. On your inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine and through your hamstrings. And exhale, forward fold. Rise up and reach up, Urdhva Headstand, hands reach to the sky, feet anchored down. Exhale, hands to your heart. Breathe in and reach up. Then exhale, fold forward and down. Halfway lift, please. Exhale, palm the mat, high plank position, step your feet back. This time, shift forward, option to drop to the knees, lower halfway and track your elbows back towards your hips. Inhale for upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Lift the knees. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Roll over the toes, melt the heels. Look forward on the breath in. Step forward or hop forward on the breath out. Halfway lift. Then exhale to fold. Rise up, Urdhva Headstand, hands to the sky. Hands to your heart center, follow your breath. Inhale, reach when you're ready. Then exhale, fold when you're ready. Halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank to low plank, Chaturanga Danasana. Inhale for upward facing dog, pull the heart forward. Then exhale, downward facing dog, push the hips up and back, breathe in, look forward last time. Exhale, travel, top of your mat, forward, fold. Halfway lift. Then forward fold. Rise up, hands up, breathe in. Hands to your heart center, soften. Reach up, find some strength. And exhale, forward fold, find softness and ease, halfway lift. Exhale, palm the mat, please, high plank to low plank, Chaturanga Danasana. Upward facing, Urdhva Mukha. Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Take a breath in. And then take a breath out. We'll start to move on, adding on a full new series. We'll go slowly to start, and then we'll give ourselves an opportunity to flow it a couple times, linking your breath to your movement. On your inhale, reach your right leg high to the sky, please. 3-point. Level your hips by flexing your toes towards the ground. The more you can flex your right pinky toe towards the ground, the more level your hips will naturally become. Ignite the right glute a little further, lift the heel higher. Exhale, step the right foot in between your palms for a low lunge. Separate your feet just a touch and then reach the fingertips up for high crescent lunge, please. Reach your fingertips high towards the sky and then start to soften into your first high crescent or Chandrasana. Shoulders relax just like they did in your mountain pose, and we're high up on the ball mound of the back foot. Soften into your back knee just a touch and tuck the tailbone underneath you by squeezing through the top parts of your core. Take a breath in. Exhale, open twist to the right side of your space. Reach your right hand back and your left hand forward. Start to press into the big toes of both feet for balance and engage through your inner thighs so that you can twist from your mid-belly a little bit further. Your gaze might follow your back hand. Breathe in. Then breathe out. Keep your twist, please. Inhale, exalted warrior. Right hand settles to your back thigh. Left hand reaches up towards the ceiling. Your gaze goes where it allows you to be steady towards the ground or maybe towards your top hand. Put zero emphasis or pressure on the perfectionism of any posture. You're where you need to be. Breathe in. As you exhale, take a high lateral lunge to the back of your space. You're going to open up to the left side of your mat and bend into your left knee. And I want you to flex your right toes back towards your face. Push your right heel into the ground a lot. We'll put a little bit more weight into the left side of our space. Push into your left heel. Keep the heart open. Just for this slow set, we'll take it like this. Reach your hands out into a capital T formation. And then as you exhale, eagle bind, take your back arm underneath your front arm. Option to grab for your shoulder heads or maybe bind to your palms. Strengthen through your chest by squeezing your forearms together. Push your forearms away from your nose and lift your elbows in line with your shoulders. Breathe in here. And breathe out to sink a little lower. And on your inhale, reverse warrior. Bend back into your right knee. Reach your right fingertips all the way up, like you're just going to trace your own ceiling and reach to the back of the room. Very light weight in your back hand. Take a breath in. Exhale, extended side angle. Utthita Parshva Konasana. Right forearm to the ground, or to your forearm, to your thigh rather. And then top hand reaches up overhead. Bicep by the ears will give you a little bit more length in your side body. Hand to the ceiling will give you a little more strength in your lower abdominals. You make the choice. No choice is better. There is no hierarchy in the variations. They're simply what you need. Take a breath in. Then a breath out. Look towards the ground for me. On your inhale, revolved side angle. So your left hand comes down to the ground, come high up on your back toes, and then reach your right arm high to the sky. As we flow, you are welcome to stay here, or you're welcome to drop down to horizon lunge, possibly heard of as a lounging lizard. Outer blades of both feet down to the ground, and then right hand reaches back behind you like you're trying to grip your back toes. Hammock your bottom hip towards the floor. Stretch out through the top outer glutes. Breathe in. Exhale, come back forward, standing splits, right foot plants, left toes lift. Almost like a single-legged forward fold, we'll start to look towards the back of the mat, gaining a little bit of bravery to invert ourselves, hips above our head. Hands to the ground, or for the slow set, you're very welcome to challenge your balance. Grip your right ankle with one hand or both. And then pay attention to your left glute. Squeeze it really, really hard so that the toes can point closer to the ceiling than anything else. Breathe in. And then exhale, forward fold. On your inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana, sink your hips down like you're sitting into a small chair, and then reach the hands up high. Put a little more weight into your heels. Notice whether or not your toes are in front of your knees. If you cannot see your toes, I want you to shift your hips back. Hands go where they want to go, heart center or forward. Breathe in. Exhale, forward, fold. Inhale, take a halfway lift. As you exhale, high plank to low plank, plant your palms, step your feet back, and then lower halfway. Inhale for upward facing dog or the back bend that you choose, and exhale, downward facing dog. You stay exactly where you are. I'm simply gonna switch which side I'm teaching to, so I'll stay open to you the entire time. On your inhale, three-legged downward facing dog, 3-point, reach your left leg high. Same thing, square your hips, flex your left pinky toe towards the ground. Activate your left glute, lift it a centimeter. As you exhale, pull your left knee to your chest and then step all the way through. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Pull your chest away from the floor, reach your hands up towards the sky. Come high up onto your right toes, and then a soft bend in the back knee is gonna really help the hip flexor to be able to open and your glute to be able to strengthen. Knit the lowest two ribs in together so we have a straight spine from shoulders to hips, and then breathe in. Exhale, open twist to the left. From that firm foundation, then we'll twist from the mid-belly and try to work the shoulders to the left side of your mat. Breathe in, exalted warrior. Left hand reaches for your right thigh. Right hand reaches up. You never have to touch your back leg. You can always find a half bind with your left arm if that feels more comfortable. Gaze goes where it needs to be. Breathe in. Exhale, high lateral lunge, back of your mat. Bend into your right knee. Left toes pull up towards the shin. Left heel rather, pushes down into the mat. Channel the arms wide open, breath in. Back arm under front arm, right under left. Maybe you bind to the palms, or maybe you hug, give yourself a big hug, wrap to the shoulder heads. Push the forearms away, push the elbows up, breathe in. Bend into your right knee, more. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left knee bends, right leg lengthens, left fingertips reach up. Like you're trying to tip the back wall that's behind you, breath in. Exhale, extended side angle, left forearm, left thigh, back hand reaches where it wants to go. My personal preference is bicep by the ears. It gives me a long line of energy from my right middle finger to the end of my right heel, pressing into the mat. You choose, breathe in, and breathe out. Look to the ground. Inhale, revolved side angle or horizon lunge. High up on the back toes for your revolved side angle. Outer blades of both feet for your horizon lunge or lounging lizard. Press into the ground so that the right hip still stays slightly lifted. Breathe in. And exhale for standing splits. Left foot to the ground. Reach the right heel high. You can start to spill your hips open a little bit here for your standing splits. That way your toes go more towards the ceiling than they do to the back wall. Breath in. And exhale, forward fold. Chair pose, breathe in, sink the hips, reach the hands high. And then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Your journey to downward facing dog. Plant your palms, step your feet back. Find a chaturanga dandasana. On your inhale, upward facing dog, pull the heart forward. Exhale, downward facing dog, pull the hips up and back. Take a moment in your downward facing dog, release expectation. You have all the secrets, you know all the postures, and we're just gonna move through those breath to movement, allowing ourselves to build a little bit more repetition and connect our mind, the things we've been listening to and cueing towards, and our body that's been doing all of these things and taking all of those notes in hand. So let's get to it, team. From your downward facing dog, please reach your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step all the way through. Inhale, high crescent lunge, reach up. Exhale, open twist to the right. Exalted warrior as you lean back. Then exhale, high lateral lunge, bind left arm under right. Breathe in, reverse warrior. Bend the right knee, reach the right hand up. Side angle on the exhale, maybe you go further than your right thigh. Inhale, revolve side angle or horizon lunge. And exhale for standing splits. Right foot plants, left toes lift. Stay here for your breath in. And fold forward on your breath out. Chair pose, Utkatasana, your depth, your choice. Forward fold, please. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. High plank to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing on the inhale. Downward facing on the exhale. Inhale, 3-point left side, left toes lift. Exhale, step all the way through. High crescent, please, inhale. Twist open on the exhale to the left. Exalted warrior, lean back, breathe in. Exhale, high lateral lunge, right arm under, left for the bind. Inhale, reverse warrior, left knee bends, left arm lifts. Side angle on the exhale. Breathe in, revolve side angle or horizon lunge. And exhale, standing splits. Right toes lift. Stay here on your breath in. Fold forward on your breath out. Inhale, chair pose. And then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. High plank to low plank, your journey to downward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Skipping knees so I don't breathe heavy into the microphone. 3-point, reach your right leg high, please. Last time. Exhale, step all the way through. Inhale, high crescent lunge, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, open twist to the right side. Inhale, exalted warrior, reach up and back. And as you exhale, eagle bound high lunge, wrap left under right. Inhale, reverse warrior, right knee bends, right fingertips reach up. Exhale, side angle, reach forward down. Inhale, horizon lunge or revolved side angle. And exhale for standing splits. Lift the left heel. Steady breath in. And a forward fold, breathe out. Chair pose, please, Utkatasana. Fold forward, release, breath out. Halfway lift. Your way to downward facing dog. And we'll take this one more time on the left side before we pause, breathe, and add on. Downward facing dog. Left leg high, please, inhale. Step through on the exhale. High lunge, inhale. Twist to the left, breathe out. Exalted on your inhale. Exhale, high lateral lunge, right arm under left. Inhale, reverse warrior, left knee bends, left arm up. Side angle on the exhale, sweep forward, down. Inhale, horizon or revolve side angle, you choose, last time. Exhale, standing splits. Breathe in here. Breathe out to fold, right foot meets left. Inhale, chair pose, right to it, last time. Fold forward, breathe out. Lengthen halfway. Exhale, step back to a high plank position, please, and then drop down to your knees. Come to a seat on your heels, reach the crown of your head high, and close your eyes. You've done a lot. We haven't done a headstand yet, and that's good, because you've done so much already. There's no expectation for you to keep going. There's no expectation for you to try anything else. There is just a want or a will to, if it exists. Please understand that as we move to a new season, or a new anything, really, it's much less about figuring out what we're capable of, and it's much more about finding what our preferences actually are. You know what you are capable of doing, and it is up to you what you prefer to do. Breathe in. And breathe out. And we'll take one more small addition to the standing series we've done, and then we'll move on, take a moment to try our headstand, and then cool it down from there. When you feel the most ready, please make your way to a downward facing dog. As you make your way to your downward facing dog, please reassess. Do you prefer your down dog or do you prefer a tabletop now? Are you bending your knees more or are you bending them a little less from the standing splits? Can you pack your shoulders back into their sockets more and push your hands into the ground more? What have you built from everything you have accomplished thus far? It isn't a headstand yet, but it is a lot of other things now. When you're ready, 3-point on the right side, last time through on this side, breathe in. And as you exhale, cheetah, knee to nose, take your right thigh in towards your chest, come high up on your back toes and push into your hands. Inhale, 3-point. Then exhale, step the right foot between your palms, just a little extra engagement. Inhale, high lunge, breath in. Open twist on the breath out. Inhale, exalted warrior, breath in. This time, team, as you exhale, straighten through your right leg. We'll find a revolved triangle pose, or revolved pyramid. So I have a block underneath my left hand rather. My right hand reaches up to the sky. I am high up on the back toes. You are very welcome to step them in and seal the back heel down if that feels more grounding for you. Pull the right hip back, open the right IT band, and then start to spiral your chest closer to the right side of your mat. Your gaze might even follow up to your right fingertips. Take a breath in, and then a breath out. Sweep your right arm down towards the ground. Put the block underneath your right hand, maybe a book or a water bottle if you're at home. Inhale, half moon. You'll open up to the left side of your space this time, peeling the hips and the heart open to face directly to the left side of your room. Your right fingertips can be on the floor, of course, or they can also be hovering. You can find a little more balance. Outer glute of your left leg. Engage to lift the left heel a little higher, flex your left toes towards your hips. Stay here for your breath in. As you exhale, take a big step back, high lateral lunge to the back of your space, bend your left leg. Peel your arms open. Bind your left arm underneath your right. Find your eagle bind. Palms or to your shoulder heads. Then I want you to turn your right pinky toes so that they're closer towards the wall that's behind you. Flex through your right foot. Look forward, breathe in. And then as you exhale, full eagle. Plant into your right foot. Start to face forward. Pull the left leg up and over. You can kickstand the left toes, pull the elbows away from the knees, and then sink the hips towards the heels, like we're sitting back into that tiny chair pose. Push the forearms away. You've got this. Breathe in. And breathe out. On your inhale, stork pose. Unravel everything. Pull the left knee up with you. As you exhale, Shiva squat. Tuck the left knee behind the right. Pull your hands to your heart center. Hug your left heel towards your right glute so it gets a little bit closer. Breathe in. As you exhale, tap the left toes down to the ground and then slowly come to a seat. You'll sink your hips down, coming into a seated twist. Right hand goes behind you, left arm up. And exhale, twist towards the right. Crown of your head reaches up nice and high. And with your left arm on the outside of your right leg, give those two a push together so you can twist a little deeper. Steady here. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more, please. Breath in. And breath out. Now from here, team, I want you to crawl to the other side. So just a counter twist. And then gently rise your chest up, come to your seat. A couple options here. You can cross at the ankles, plant the palms, step back to a downward facing dog. Or option to find a little bit of momentum, kind of rocking forwards and backwards. You can plant your palms and hop back to your chaturanga, building a little bit of strength. Inhale for upward facing dog, pull the heart forward. And then exhale, downward facing dog, lift the hips up and back. Very last flow, reach your left leg high, please. Exhale, cheetah, knee to nose, thigh to chest, lift high on the right toes. 3-point. Exhale, step through. High crescent lunge, nothing changes yet. Exhale, open twist to the left. Inhale, exalted warrior, listen for change. Exhale, revolve triangle pose. Straighten the left leg, right hand comes to the ground, left hand comes to the sky. You'll notice I'm tented up onto my right fingertips because I don't have a block on this side, so you are very welcome to do this as well. Give yourself a little space. Pull the left hip back, draw the right hip forward, and come high on your right toes if you're there. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale for half moon. Sweep your left fingertips down towards the ground or towards your prop, and then peel your heart and your hips open to face the right side of your mat. Stack shoulders and wrists on top of one another, and then stack your right hip on top of your left, and lift your right heel higher. Breathe in. As you exhale, take a big step back, high lateral lunge, back into the right leg. Reach the arms out, this is it. Exhale, eagle bind, right under left this time. So flex your left toes back towards your face. Make sure that it's looking straight forward. And as you exhale, eagle. Take the right leg up and around. Any wobbles are good. And then tap the right toes down to the ground for a kickstand if you want to, or you can squeeze your legs together and still find that hover in the right heel, making it a balance challenge. Lift your forearms and push them away. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale for stork pose. Lift up. And then exhale for Shiva squat. Right knee behind the left. Hug in, squeeze tight. Breathe in. And tap the right toes down and then have a seat. Heading to our seated twist. Lift up. And then exhale, twist to the left. Right arm to the outside of your left thigh. Lift the crown of your head. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last one here. Breath in. And breath out. And this time on your inhale, come back up and around. And as you exhale, find a little counter stretch, a counter twist to the opposite side. Come back through center. And then you're very welcome to find that rock and roll sensation down and back, to hop to a chaturanga dandasana, or just cross at the ankles, plant the palms, step back to a downward facing dog. Once you've arrived in your downward facing dog, take a breath in. You have made it very far. Breathe out. Look forward on the inhale. And as you exhale, drop down to your knees. And then very slowly, come all the way down to your belly. We'll start to strengthen the muscles in the back so that we start to get a little bit more prepared for our headstand, which in a very small, weird way is a little bit of a back bend. So we'll start with Sphinx, and then we'll start to build the intensity from here. So place your forearms underneath your shoulders, elbows right underneath your shoulders, and then pull your chest up. Tops of the feet plant down. They are still active. You can very slightly see that my knees have pulled off the floor. Without moving anything, you're going to traction your elbows back towards your hip points. That will naturally pull your heart forward and through your shoulder heads. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, release. Find your crocodile pose from the very beginning. A lot of us will want to move, and a lot of us will also want to stay still. So honor what your intuition desires and do what you need to do in between each back bend. From your Sphinx pose, we'll move to Cobra or Bhujangasana, a baby variation, if you will. So pull your hands back underneath your shoulders and then move them back a couple inches further to the top set of ribs. Keep the tops of the feet down, press down, and feel your knees start to lift. And then on your inhale, Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. Lift just the chest. Start to float your hands off the floor so you really just start to use the muscles that are running along your spine. Breathe in. And then exhale, lower and release. Again, same thing. You might want to move, you might want to stay still, but give yourself what you actually desire. Some people are going to bend their knees and kind of windshield wiper their heels around. And our very last variation, we'll move into a locust pose. So for locust pose, I want your palms to face the ground, pinkies towards your thighs, thumbs facing outward. And from here, same thing as cobra pose, lift your chest. And then this time I want you to lift your hands, like you're gonna reach for your heels. And then the option is to stay right here or start to lift the heels. Feet are hip width distance apart to protect the low back. Keep reaching, keep lifting for 3. We breathe still for 2. And on 1, slowly release it down, finding one cheek to the earth, and movement if you wish, and stillness if you want. Notice what you need, breathe in. And breathe out. Gently press your way to a tabletop. And we'll take a rabbit pose to kind of counteract all of those back bends. So what I would love for you to do is take a seat down onto your heels. Now you can tuck or untuck your heel, or your toes rather, it's up to you. And then we're gonna grip to our feet. So your fingertips are gonna be towards the arch side of your feet, gripping onto your heels, and your thumbs will be on the outsides of your heels. The idea is that we're gonna kind of nosedive towards the ground. Crown of the head is gonna tap towards the ground. Hips are gonna pull up to the sky, and we're gonna grip our heels to make this happen. So tuck your chin in towards your chest, and then start to round through your spine, working the crown, the very tip top of your head towards the ground. Now, once it arrives there, I want you to grip onto your heels as much as you can and pull your hips up towards the ceiling. This mic is now currently almost in my mouth, so I'm sorry if this is very loud. But pull your hips up just a little higher. And then can you take a little weight out of your head by gripping your heels and lifting your hips? Just for 3. Chin to chest, 2. And 1. We'll slowly sit back to the heels, slowly lift the head. Whew. We all get a little space. Okay. That was our first experience trying to go upside down. Our first collective experience, I'll be honest. There's a good chance that you're already in a headstand here, and that's totally great. I love that. Now, if you do not need to watch me attempt a headstand, you just go do what you need to do. Up against a wall is a really great opportunity to be able just to give yourself a little leverage and support. So I'll show you from the side variation, and then I'll show you up against a wall so that I can actually be in it with you. To be totally frank, it's not quite a part of my practice. Doesn't mean I don't like to teach it. Doesn't mean I don't like to try with you. So what we're looking for is the crown of your head to rest on the mat. Now, if you have a very high bun or a very high ponytail like I do this morning, I want you to kind of push it back just a little bit so that the top of your head can be fully flush to the ground. Now, with your thumb right at your third eye, your middle finger is gonna wrap right to the spot where you wanna stand on the top of your head. It's gonna feel a lot further back than you think it is, I promise, but it really is the tip-top crown of your head. Okay. So, with that being said, our fingers are gonna make a basket grip to really hold on tight to that spot so that we can then ground ourselves into the floor and actually have kind of a triad variation. So we're not necessarily just standing on top of the head, we're staying on the head, the left elbow, and the right elbow. Now, as you lift up, the first thing I want you to try is even from seated on your shins, right? We'll do this together. Basket grip the back of your head, and then start to notice your elbows flaring directly in your peripheral vision, okay? So elbows and biceps are gonna be just to the sides of your eyes, just to the sides of your temples. Now, I want you to push your shoulders up towards your ears and start to push your forearms above your head. This is where we're gonna wanna be because we're gonna really wanna pull a lot of weight out of our head and out of our neck and put it into stronger variations, stronger muscles like the shoulders and the arms and the lats, okay? All right, that's tiring as it is. So rather than burn out, we're gonna go ahead and give it a try. So To make this happen, again, I'm gonna come to seated on the shins and try to kind of tuck the chin, nose dive towards the ground, crown of the head onto the ground. And then I'll basket grip from here, just at the back of the head, so I can really feel like my forearms are on the ground and they're underneath my shoulders. So they're not flared all the way out and they're not hugged all the way in. We want almost that perfect triangular amount of surface area to push down into. From here, lift your hips and then start to walk your toes towards your elbows. This is why we did so many standing splits and a little bit of those pyramids, is because the hamstrings need to be nice and open. Now, option variation is to pull your knees in towards your chest and tuck your toes towards your heel, or towards your glutes rather. And this is a headstand. And then your option is to start to float one leg towards the sky and then maybe the other. Now, I'm not going to get both legs into the sky, so, not to spoil the surprise, but that's a variation that you can hop into. Knees to chest is a great way to simply feel like you are balancing on your arms and on your head, because you are, without actually having to really put your entire body weight in a straight line up above your head, okay? So we'll try it one more time. I'll use the wall so I can actually be in it with you. And then you can also see it from a different vantage point. So if you're using a wall, I want you to look away from the wall. So the crown of your head is going to go down towards the ground. You'll basket grip the back of your head, same. And then with your back now facing the wall, you can start to walk a little closer, one leg towards the wall, and then the other leg towards the wall. Now, the biggest thing I want you to do is push the ground away from you so your head's almost not even touching the wall at all. And then toes are either pointed or they're flexed, but they are fully engaged. All right, we got this. 3, 2, and on 1, we'll slowly, safely come back down. All right, we did it together. Okay, so I want you to find a comfortable seat seated on your shins. This is called Vajrasana. Palms plant to your thighs. Crown of your head reaches up and your eyes are going to flutter closed. Before anything floods into your mind, you did it. I don't care what it is. It doesn't have to be a handstand, or a headstand rather. It doesn't have to be anything other than your practice. It doesn't have to be anything other than turning this on and rolling out your mat. You have done so many other things to get to this place before you even attempted anything else. So even if you rolled out your mat, you possibly set your alarm, or you set time aside, you got your computer out or your phone out, and you searched for this, you searched for a practice. You searched for yourself. And if we made it a little bit further, we did a lot of postures. We had a lot of moments leading up to this very opportunity to even try. And so before we hold on so tightly to a result of a journey or a result of efforts, focus on your efforts first. A lot of things happen before results come. And I want us to stay firmly rooted and present with those things, release the expectation of what's to come or what's desired. It'll be there because you're putting forth the effort and the work. Slowly breathe in. And breathe out. A very light cool down. We'll go ahead and come all the way down to our backs. Slowly release. Maybe grab a block with you or a pillow with you, because we'll work into a supported legs up the wall. And so for that variation, you'll take your prop of any kind and put it underneath your sacrum, kind of just up above your tailbone. Legs into the air, relax. We put a lot of pressure on our head and on our neck, so this could feel really good. A complete counter posture, if you will, would be a shoulder stand. And so for that, You'd start to roll up onto the tip tops of your shoulders. Your hands would go behind your low back and legs up towards the ceiling. Stretching out the back of your neck, everything that put a lot of effort in. And if you'd like to go any further, plow pose is available for you. Toes reach towards the back of the space. Your hips will stay above your shoulders and your back will round. And again, a stretch from your tailbone all the way to the back of your head. Stay here as long as you'd like. Then when you're ready, we'll slowly begin to roll out, acknowledging that there's a prop underneath you and moving it to the side. As you slowly release, feet to the ground, just for a moment, breathe in. And as you breathe out, drop your knees to the left side of your space for an easy twist. Again, twisting through the mid-belly, reach your right hand out towards the right side of your room. You might even gaze in that direction. We start to soften not only our physical selves, but our energetic and expectational selves. Can we buck the trend of the outside society saying we must do, we must be, we must have? And acknowledge that abundance and contentment is a place that we can live in whenever we choose. Pull yourself back in through center, and then very softly, just drop your knees to the right side of your space. Reach your left arm out towards the left, and maybe gaze towards that way or up to the ceiling. In what other spaces might you be holding expectations for yourself? And what other places do we think those expectations are from other people, but are actually narrated by us and projected onto other people? Very slowly, bring the knees back into your chest. Pull your knees in, and then maybe draw your nose up to meet your knees. Give yourself a big hug, a big squeeze. And when you finally are ready, make room for Shavasana, or your final rest. Now, your final rest can be just about anything. More often than not, you'll see people lying out on their backs, arms long, legs long, which is comfortable for some. And for others, it might be lying on your side or lying on your belly or maybe a child's pose because we didn't take one. It might be a comfortable meditative seat, but either way, acknowledge what you need rather than what other people expect for you to do, even in rest. Please stay in your Shavasana as long as you desire. The time is yours and no one else's. I will leave you here in rest, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for practicing with me.